Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's 30-minute neck and shoulders practice. I'm really glad that you're here. We're going to be taking things pretty chill, pretty easy today. This won't just be about neck and shoulders. There will be some love for other parts of the body, but that's really where we're focusing. So if you're feeling stiff or tense or any discomfort in that area, I really hope this practice helps you feel better. Disclaimer, if you have an injury to your neck or your shoulder, listen to what your medical provider says. And even if you're experiencing just some discomfort around this area, not like a full-on injury, but just like everyday sort of discomfort, want to just remind you to take it really easy. Especially, I know that, I'm speaking from experience. When something is uncomfortable, sometimes we apply too much force trying to get to something that feels better, like really quickly. There's no silver bullet for any sort of discomfort or pain in the body. So I just encourage you, it's just easy to tweak stuff in this region. So even though we're gonna give it some focus, we're gonna draw a lot of our attention there, so go on the kind of gentle side. You can always revisit this video tomorrow to get a little bit of a boost rather than like stretching as hard as you can. So be careful. In terms of props, if you have one yoga block, you might like to sit on it during a seated portion of the practice. Maybe you like to sit on a folded blanket or a cushion. That's great. If you don't have access to any of these things, you might enjoy sitting in a chair for the kind of extended seated portion in the middle. So maybe a chair is nearby. And then if you have a yoga strap, grab it. If you don't, a dish towel will work perfectly today for the way that we're going to use it. So I'm going to use a dish towel. I got a block. Grab your items. If you like to follow along to a playlist, I'm going to press play right now on the one linked below. We don't need to be synced up perfectly. It's just to give you kind of a little bit of a vibe in the background. And then meet me laying down on your back in your favorite position. So that might be feet touching, knees open wide like a book, spine long on the ground. To support the low back a little bit more, bring the bottoms of your feet to the outer edges of your mat and knock your knees together. You could also go human starfish. So find your comfy position here. Get out any wiggles. Start to invite a couple big, slow, full, deep breaths, letting your body arrive here in this space. And with each exhale, invite your body to relax, giving yourself permission to stop thinking about whatever you were doing before this, or planning about what comes next. All of those things will be waiting for you when we're done with this 30 minutes, but this is your time to tend to your needs, come back to yourself. So continue to take big, full breaths. Start to scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to your toes, noticing what feels a little tight, maybe a little tense, noticing what feels good, and noticing where you're holding on to tension that you could let go of with one extra breath. Let's take a couple breaths together to welcome ourselves into this space as a community. Take a big breath in through your nose. Feel your low belly fill up. Sigh it out your mouth. Beautiful. Again, in through the nose, filling up your low belly, feeling your rib cage expand in all directions. And then letting that breath go out the nose or the mouth. Last one together, big in breath, fill up low belly, rib cage in the space all around your heart. Take one more sip of air on top of that inhale. Big breath out, release. You can keep your eyes closed or just a soft gaze. Keep your legs as they are. As you inhale, slide your hands along the ground, reaching them overhead, big stretch. And as you exhale, bend your elbows into goalposts. They're like the letter W, and then drag your elbows down to your hips. We're warming up through the shoulders and opening the heart space here. Breathing in, send your fingertips wide and then up and back. As you exhale, bend your elbows, drag them to your hips. Keep your collarbones wide, your heart open. Find 3 more of these on your own, moving really slowly. Allow yourself to really relish each sensation. Let the movements and the breath feel really good. Nice job. When you're all done, hug your knees up into your chest. You might wrap your hands around your knees. Find a little bit of a rock side to side, massaging the low back. See how it feels to introduce some little circles of the knees. Oof, switching directions. And then drop both knees off to one side. Open your arms really wide like the letter capital T. And just take a couple breaths here, allowing your body to relax into this easy twist. And I'm not sure we're all going in the same direction. So the arm that is far away from your bent legs, for me, it's my left arm. Bring it on top of your right arm. So your arms are facing towards your knees. And as you inhale, open the top arm up and wide, finding an open book. We'll find 3 more of these on this side. So you close, clapping your palms on top of each other, and with a big breath in, rainbow the top arm up and then as wide open as you can. Pause for a moment at the bottom, stretch both arms long, relax your hips, your belly, and then return to start. Find 2 more of these on your own. Good, and when you're done with your last one, there's no rush. Bring your knees back to center, and then we'll drop them over to the other side and find those movements in the other direction. So start with a nice twist. You might crawl your fingertips even further away from the midline so you can experience that length through your wingspan. Relax the hips, the stomach, your face. Bring the arm that's away from your legs, clap on top of the other hand. And then with a breath in, legs stay as they are, rainbow up. And your exhale takes you to the bottom of the open book. Return to center when you're ready. Find 3 of these on your own. If you only have time for one exercise in the middle of the day, try these out. If you spend a lot of time seated or driving, the shoulders can kind of hunch in and cave in. This helps open up through the chest, the heart, and the shoulders. Nice job. All right, return back to center when you're done. Hug your knees again. Just take another moment here to check in with the low back. And then send your feet up towards the sky like happy baby. And you're probably not feeling super flexible. We're just starting here. So if the feet aren't accessible, it's okay. Grab the backs of the legs. Your whole spine does not need to rest on the ground. It's okay if the tailbone picks up. This is just a couple breaths here to check in with the legs. Notice how the spine, the hips are feeling. No wrong way to do this. Continue to breathe. All right, make your way back to center. We're gonna come to a seated position. If you like to rock and roll the length of your spine, you can do this a couple times. We'll meet seated. This next section is the one where we'll be sitting down for about as long as we were just laying down. So if it would feel good for you to sit into a chair, grab one. Maybe you're gonna sit on the edge of the couch. It's all good. We'll meet in whatever seated position you choose in 4, in 3, in 2, and 1. Find your seat. I'm gonna sit up on a block. Ooh. You could even lean against a wall if that's something that feels good to you. So allow your spine to draw up nice and tall. You can rest your hands wherever feels good. Just drop your one ear to one shoulder. And then drop your chin down to your chest. And then opposite ear to opposite shoulder. And just continue like this. Nice gentle movements, just noticing the way the neck is feeling. Observing if one side feels maybe tighter than another side. You can keep going just with these little motions, or you might like to explore a larger range of movement by drawing a big circle with your chin. And if you choose to go the circle route, we're going really slow. And challenge yourself just to see what is the range of motion that's accessible. What is the biggest circle you could draw without pain? If you feel any pinching or a really uncomfortable sensation, just scale it way back. If you're drawing circles, switch directions. Nice and easy. Keep breathing. Good. One more big full circle. All right, bring your head back to center, back to neutral. We'll do a little more neck stretching at the end. That was just a moment to kind of notice how things are feeling as we get into a little more movement. So bring your hands to interlace in front of you, and then bring your hands up towards the sky with the bottoms of your palms facing the ceiling. Good. Take a couple moments here to lengthen through your side bodies, reaching your hands up. Spine is as long as you can, really pushing through the palms of the hands. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, send your hands forward, round through your back, tuck your chin to your chest. We're gonna do some seated cat and cow. As you inhale, rainbow up, lifting, lifting, lifting. As you exhale, round and curl. Find 3 more of these, moving with your breath. Good. Keep going slow. There's no rush. Slow movement is medicine too. So when you're all done with your third one, we'll just come back to center, to a nice neutral spine. Take your time. Good. You can wiggle out the arms at your side, wiggle out through the shoulders. Maybe even find some like 80s shoulders. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Switch directions. Nice job. All right. Inhale, reach your fingertips up, up, up. And exhale to the right, a big side bend. Fingertips might rest on the earth. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the left. If it feels better on the neck, you can gaze down. Keep moving through these with your breath. Inhaling to center, exhaling into a bend, maximizing space and length available through your sides. Let's do one more round, one more on each side. Good. Next time you come back to center, we're gonna keep going with a similar side bend move, but make this a little bit more about the chest and the shoulders. So next time you're over to one side, like you're swimming the backstroke, Send your top hand, face your palm back behind you, and then reach all the way down. And then like you're swimming freestyle, come all the way up, reach forward. You might even tuck your chin down towards your chest. And then you can move to the other side by swooping across the front, chin stays tucked. So as you come into the other side, you can inhale up, send the palm back and reach. And then palm to the sky, reaching all the way forward, chin tucks down, reaching. And then you can come to the other side. There's no wrong way to do this. Start to explore a more fluid feeling movement. So maybe not all of what I offered will feel right to you. Maybe there's something you're adding in between. But keep this mental picture of swimming through water and try to bring that quality to the movement. Continue to breathe, even though you could not breathe underwater. In this imaginary time, you can. You are at no risk of filling your lungs with water. Maybe we have some swimmers on the call who are like, you would never swim backstroke with your hand open like this. And Mom, you're right, we would not. Let's do one more on each side, nice and slow. Good. When you return to center, sit up nice and tall. Before we move on, take a moment just to check in. You might wiggle the shoulders, find some little movements of the neck. Just notice how you're feeling. This might be enough for you if you have a little bit of an injury happening through the neck or the shoulders and you want to take it easy. Just like observe how this feels and decide how you enter the back half of our practice. Honestly, if this is enough for you, you could stop this video right now and come back to it another time. I don't want you to overdo it. We are done with the seated part, so you can move your block off to the side. You can come off the chair, come into tabletop position. We're going to start just by smacking the feet on the top of the ground. And then send one leg back, just gliding on the ball mount. We're just stretching out through the legs after so much time with them crossed or seated. And then switch out your legs. Good. Nice. Come back to center. I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute and I invite you to explore cat and cow here, plus any other movements through the hips. If it feels okay to close your eyes, you might let your breath be the guide of this movement. Let yourself move intuitively. You might explore some hinges through the hip. You might explore wagging your tail side to side. Maybe glancing over one shoulder towards one ankle and then towards the other. You might find kind of like a jump roping, like undulation through the spine. About 20 more seconds exploring any movements here on all fours that feel good to your spine, your neck, your hips. Start to even out your sides if you're doing something asymmetrical. And we'll all together go back to child's pose. Toes touch, knees open wide. Rest your forehead on the mat, fingertips crawl long. Take 3 breaths here. Invite your body to soften and release, paying special attention to the neck and the shoulders. Good. Press back up onto all fours. Walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lift your hips, straighten your legs, downward facing dog. Pedal out through the legs, finding any movements here that feel good. This might be your very first down dog of the day. Notice how it feels. Keep your hands spread really wide, your fingertips gripping at the mat, and then squish the big knuckles of your fingers down into the ground. So the knuckles that connect your fingers to your hand. Pushing the earth away. See if you might lift your hips up, imagining you could Put them right where the wall and the ceiling meet behind you. Relax your neck and shoulders, giving your head a shake yes, a shake no. Gaze forward at your hands, breathe in. Exhale, ragdoll pose. Walk your feet towards your hands. Feet can be really wide, knees might be really bent. All options are still happening here. If you like twists, if you like chest expansions, but I invite you to give yourself a little bit of a neck and shoulder massage. When was the last time you were like, hey self, love you, here's a little massage, try it. There's a little bony ridge at the back of the skull where it connects to the neck, called the occipital ridge. And that can be a place that feels really nice to press, kind of like pull up towards the top of the head. It's also a really great place for the silent scream. If you take class with me often, you'll know what I'm talking about. You just open your mouth as wide as you can. Kind of like squint your eyes closed and just notice any tension that you are holding in the face and the jaw. All of that can contribute to tension in the neck and the shoulders too. Whew. All right, release your fingertips down towards the earth, bend your knees generously, bring hands onto thighs, and then bring yourself up to stand nice and easy. Whew. All right, we got 10 minutes left. We're making excellent time. Face the long edge of your mat, send your feet wide. Just take a couple moments here, like a little movement, little twists might feel nice through the spine. You might wiggle out through the legs, wiggle out through the arms. All right, keep your towel or your strap nearby. We're not using it just yet, but keep it in front of you. So stance is long. We're gonna do some eagle arm elevators here, start to get into the shoulders a little bit, and then we'll counter that with a big chest opening stretch, which is what the towel is here for. So bring your right arm underneath the left arm. Weave your palms to touch. If this doesn't work for you, grab for your shoulders. All of us can focus on lifting the elbows up so they're in line with your face, and then sending your hands away from your body any amount. So notice if your back wants to either round or arch here. Focus on keeping your spine neutral. Legs are strong, they're holding you here. And as you inhale, elevator up just the elbows, And as you exhale, elevator your arms down. So the spine is not flexing or extending, we're just moving the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower, nice job. Last one. Ooh, all right, let the arms go. You can give them a wiggle. Plant your toes in and your heels out. We'll take a chest expansion as we go down. If you can reach and interlace your hands behind you to pop up your chest, you can do that now. If it's tough to reach, use your towel for support. We still want to externally rotate the shoulders. So grab your towel behind you so that the eyes of your elbows point forward and your hands point forward as well. So that way, when you pinch your shoulder blades together and opening across the front of the chest. So take a couple breaths here, popping up through the heart. Imagine you could spread your collarbones even wider, that you could lift up through the chest. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips, send your chest down towards the ground. Option to release this bind, this chest expansion if it doesn't feel good. But if it does, you might find a little side-to-side movement through the legs, allowing your head and neck to rest heavy down towards the ground. 3 breaths here. Good. To come back up, bend your knees generously, hinge at the hips, release the bind, wiggle out through the arms. Nice job. And then let's do this on the other side. So we did right arm under. So we'll do left arm underneath, right elbow crosses on top, palms touch, or maybe you're like desperately grabbing your thumb like me, or this bear hug. Legs are strong, spine is neutral. As you inhale, lift your elbows up. Option to gently pull the hands away from the face to intensify the stretch along the back of your shoulder. And then as you exhale, we're drawing the elbows down as much as you're able with the space you have here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good, 2 more. Keeping the arms actively pressing into each other and actively pulling away is part of what makes this an active stretch. But you can always dial it back if it's a little too much. Oh, all right, nice job. Unwind your arms, find a nice wiggle. We're gonna go into that same chest expansion and wide leg fold again. So decide if you'd like to use your prop. We've got straps, maybe towels. Remember, the eye of the elbow is pointing forward so that the arms are externally rotated, which is what stretches across the front. Take a breath in, puff up your chest, toes in, heels out. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, send your butt back in space, lifting up through your hands, pinch your shoulder blades together. 3 slow, full breaths here. Good, when you're ready, bend your knees, come back up. Nice job. You can set your strap or your towel off to the side. Give yourself just one little wiggle here. We're gonna go back to the floor to finish things up. You know, there's not a lot for the legs in here, so if you need like one more downward facing dog, or I don't know why you would need a chair pose. I don't know why I just thought to say that. We're not doing chair pose together today. Maybe you really need one. But when you're ready, we're gonna meet down on the ground or maybe back in your chair for one last seated stretch. And then we'll practice a breath practice. You could lay down or you might enjoy staying seated. So find whatever seated position is best for you here. I'm gonna take hero's pose. I've got my knees touching, feet slightly open, and I'm gonna sit back on this block. Just another option you might try. And we're gonna do a little bit of targeted neck stretching here, just getting in a little bit deeper to the tissues. We've been warming up. So again, if you're feeling like I might be good, maybe you skip this part and revisit one of the other stretches we've already done. If you'd like to try it out, take your right ear to your right shoulder. Gently press your shoulder blades together behind you so there's a gentle lift of the heart. You could stay like this, imagining you're lifting your left ear up towards the ceiling, finding this big stretch along the left side of the neck. For a little more, you might enjoy sending the left arm out to the side. Play with the height of the arm. But you might imagine someone is pulling these fingertips away from you. So we're intensifying the stretch across the top of the shoulder side of the neck. And the last invitation here is to find a little movement through the chin, something that feels good. You might play with a gentle tuck and a gentle lift. You might play with gently looking at your right shoulder and then looking back forward. No wrong way to do it, but stay really present with the sensation so you can kind of take the foot off the gas if your body lets you know, oh, that's enough. 2 more breaths. Release the left arm if you sent it out. Bring your chin down to your chest and then lift it up to center. Let's try that on the other side. Left ear comes to left shoulder. Imagine you're lifting the right ear to the ceiling like a string is pulling you up. Maybe you stay. For a little more, send your right arm out long. You might invite some rotation to the arm. You might play with its height. And then you might play with a little movement through the chin. Something that feels good along the neck. Maybe tucking and lifting at an angle. Maybe rotating the chin down as you gaze at the left shoulder. Moving nice and slow. 3 breaths. Gently bring your right arm back in. Send your chin down to your chest. And then lift it back up. Nice. We're going to move into our closing breath practice. Just start to find a little look side to side, noticing the way your neck feels. We'll do a little chin to chest, lifting the eyes to the sky. Good. And then settle into stillness. If you would enjoy laying down for this last part, by all means. We're going to practice square breath, where just like drawing a square where all the sides are equal, we're going to inhale for the count of 4, hold your breath for the count of 4, exhale for 4, and then hold your breath at the bottom for 4, and then we'll begin again. So inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. So you're just breathing normally now. As we start to engage this breath, I want you to focus on keeping your throat, your neck, and your shoulders as soft as you can. It'll feel a little bit like a challenge when we hold the breath. Your instinct might be to clench. I want you to invite a softening, even as you're retaining the breath. Let's take a big breath in, all the way in, and a full breath out. And I'll start to count you through square. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold and soften. And then begin again with your own count. Option to lower the count or increase it as it feels right to you. Invite a softness to your body, especially while you're holding your breath. And see how full you can make your inhales and your exhales. Couple more rounds, you're doing great. After your next round, you can let the square breath go, just breathe naturally, observing the effect of that breathwork practice on the way your body feels, your mind, the breath itself. And as you're turned inward here, take note of what it is that you need as you go into the rest of your day. And see if you might make just a little more space for yourself in the hours to come. We'll close our practice with 3 big breaths together. As you inhale, invitation to reach the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, palms press together, drag to heart center. Beautiful. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, breathing in, biggest breath of all, Tuesday. Biggest breath out. Lift your thumbs up to your third eye center, merging heart and mind. Drum up some gratitude for yourself for choosing this practice, for this body, this day, this life. Thank you so much for practicing together. Excellent. That's our practice. 30 minutes truly flies by. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that your neck and shoulders are feeling a little less crunchy. Yeah, we had some requests for some extra neck and shoulder stuff. So if there's something that you would like to see happen in this space, let me know. I'm definitely open to your ideas. And I will see you next time. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.